All right, let's dive into a classic, Louisa May Alcott's incredible novel, Little Women. We're going to break down the story, get to know its unforgettable characters, and really dig into why this book is still so powerful, especially if you're at that point in life where you're trying to figure out who you're supposed to be. And this line right here from the one and only Jo March just sums up the whole spirit of the book, doesn't it? It's all about these four sisters trying to find their way through life, love, and their own ambitions during the American Civil War. Each one is looking for her own kind of adventure. So who are these little women anyway? Let's get to know the March sisters. They are, without a doubt, the heart and soul of this whole novel. Okay, so they're living in what you could call genteel poverty back in Civil War-era New England. And man, these sisters could not be more different from each other. Alcott doesn't just describe them, she gives you these little clues right away that tell you everything about their personalities and how they see the world. And this table really lays it all out, you know? The whole core of the story is right here. You've got four totally unique paths, all starting from the exact same house. Meg wants a comfortable, traditional life. Jo is chasing literary stardom. Beth just wants to be with her family. And then there's Amy, who wants to be a world-famous artist. And you really see how different they are when they start talking about their dreams, which they have this beautiful name for. They're castles in the air. Meg, being the oldest, is all about comfort and social standing. I mean, it's a pretty classic dream for a young woman in the 19th century, but let's be real, that desire for stability and just nice things, that still feels super familiar today. And then you have sweet, gentle Beth. Her dream is basically the emotional core of the family. It's this simple, quiet wish for peace, health, and just having everyone together. She doesn't need the fame, she doesn't need the money, just her family. Amy, on the other hand, the youngest one, her ambitions are huge. We're talking grand, worldly ambitions. She's not just thinking, oh, it'd be nice to be an artist. No, she wants to be the best artist in the entire world. Her castle is an international landmark. But life isn't just about dreams, right? Of course not. Each sister has her own personal burden, something she has to learn to fight and overcome. And this is where the story gets really good. So the book basically frames these personal flaws as these internal battles. And for Jo and Amy, the two most ambitious sisters, their biggest flaws are like polar opposites. Jo's enemy is this fiery, totally uncontrollable temper. And Amy's, it's her vanity and conceit. And all of this comes to a head in one catastrophic moment. Amy's selfish vanity makes her do the unthinkable. She destroys the one thing Jo cares about most in the world, the book she has poured years of her life into. It's just a gut punch of a scene. Wow. And Jo's reaction is just pure, unfiltered rage. You can feel how deep that wound is. This is the moment that pushes their family to the absolute brink and forces both of them to look at the ugliest parts of themselves. In reading that, you can't help but ask yourself a tough question. What's my bosom enemy? You know, what's that thing about myself that I really struggle to control? Is it my temper, my pride, maybe even my shyness? And that's the whole point, right? Their mom, Marmee, who is just full of wisdom, says it perfectly. Learning to master yourself is the biggest challenge of growing up. And that's such a key takeaway from this book. Growth is hard. It's a battle you have to keep fighting. Now, this whole struggle for self-control is a huge deal for Jo. Her journey to become a writer isn't just her story arc. It's also a powerful look into the author's own life and ambitions. It's really the key to understanding why Louisa May Alcott even wrote this book. So Jo's writing journey is so interesting to watch. She starts out writing these wild, over-the-top sensation stories just to make some money. But her real breakthrough, her real success, comes when she finally stops chasing trends and just writes from the heart, when she tells the simple, honest story of the one thing she knows best, her family. And funny enough, it's actually her sister Amy who drops this little piece of wisdom. It's a huge lesson for Jo. True art, you know, real genius. It has to come from the heart. You can't just force it with ambition and energy alone. So what can a book that was written over 150 years ago really teach us today? Well, as it turns out, a whole lot. This book is just packed with takeaways that are surprisingly spot on for life right now. I mean, think about it. Learning that real wealth has nothing to do with money, that you have to master your own flaws, that independence is a good thing, and that your family is your rock. These lessons are just as important for a teenager today as they were back in the 1860s. And really, the biggest lesson is right there in the title. Becoming a little woman, or, just becoming a grown-up, it's not about your age. It's about that tough, hard-won growth of your character, becoming more self-aware and finding your own inner strength. I think the reason this story has stuck around for so long is because the characters are just so relatable. So which one are you? A traditional Meg? An ambitious Jo? A quiet Beth? Or an elegant Amy? There's no wrong answer, but just thinking about it tells you a lot about what you value and what kind of adventures you might be looking for in your own life.